Hey guys, this is Guillermo and my
Adam.
co-host. Yeah.
Yep, I'm back. We're here once again.
And we're doing another episode of the Nerdthings podcast, and this time we got 2020 in review kind of thingy. As you can see, the title of this video or this podcast episode is the best year of our life. That's actually, it's not the best year of our life, but honestly, we've been pretty fortunate in that. I mean, 2020 hasn't really changed at all for us.
No, we're able to keep our jobs,
Yeah, hours went down for me, but I mean, I still kept the job through everything.
A lot of people didn't even get that luxury.
Yeah, and I mean, my dad got corona, but it was fortunate that it was like the weakest thing that I've ever seen, so that was nice. We haven't gotten it.
I might have gotten it in the beginning, but I don't know. I never got tested, but so far it didn't do any permanent lasting damage. I'm still here, so even if I did get it, I got the easy strain, so that's nice.
And other than that, when it comes to like social and everything that people are suffering, we're Adam and I are corona proof, or at least pandemic proof in that sense, is that we have no social life really.
Yep, yeah, no, I really, my social life consisted of, our entire social life consisted of like playing League, Discord, so it was never really like, oh my god, we need to go out to the bars or the clubs, and there's no way I can do this, how am I going to live? It's like, no, I was kind of like, well, this is not bad, people at work were talking like, man, I so miss going to festivals and raves, and I'm just like, how are you doing, Adam? It's rough. It's rough.
Completely unaffected.
My lifestyle really didn't change at all, so it's been nice,
Yeah, in that sense, like I just feel less bad about not doing anything.
Yeah, right. It's like, now I have an excuse to be like, yeah, pandemic, you don't want to get sick, even though I would say the exact same thing even if there was no pandemic.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really want to.
Yeah, in that case, we've been pretty good, although I've been wanting to do stuff after this pandemic now.
Yeah, I think finally, it was always one of those things where it's like I had the option to like go out if I wanted to, like it was always there. But when you have the pandemic, it's like, oh, now I actually can't even if I wanted to. So it's kind of like, when this is over, I'll probably go out a little bit more than I normally would just
do
to
something. Yeah,
get the feel of it again.
Yeah, but other than that, we've been pretty good in 2020. We've done a lot of fun stuff too. So we're gonna get to the main topics, to the important stuff, and that's so we made a list of like games, anime, and just life stuff in general that we've kind of done in 2020. We're going to run those down and start with life. For me, I'll go first and then because we'll alternate. Was moving. I recently moved with my girlfriend in like a couple months ago. And that was a big life change because I was still living with my parents and all that. And it was nice to move out and, experience all that.
Yeah, those are fun times.
Yeah, getting used to a lot of stuff like eating, like making food for yourself.
Yep.
It's so hard. It's so hard to like first of all motivate yourself to eat something, and it's hard enough like to cook something or whatever.
Yeah, that's why I live and die by the microwave.
Yeah, look, and I want to eat like I want to go to Culver's like every day or burgers or order pizza or whatever. But it's like I can't because it's expensive and it's not healthy.
And it's not healthy. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. So that's been. Other than that, though, it's been nice to live in an apartment without parents, I guess.
Yeah. When I first moved out on my own, it was so, it was just kind of really refreshing. It was a bit scary at first because you're like, okay. Because I didn't have like the normal. I obviously didn't either. Like, a lot of kids our age, as soon as 18 off to college, like but there's that security of like college, right? It's like I'm with a bunch of other people who are also new, and it's kind of like an institution where it's like when I first moved out, it was just like here's your place. It was me and my friends, so it was like, whatever, that's fine. But still, it was kind of like, whoa, like, you have to make sure you have that job. Like,
yeah, now you have to make sure you have a job.
Because you got to pay rent and have income and, all of that. So it was a bit scary at first, but at the same time, like, that level of freedom, like, I can go to the gas station whenever I want. I can, play games until 3 a.m. and not have to, I can do whatever I want. My room, I don't have to clean my room every day, It's kind of stupid if, it seems kind of dumb, but at the time it was really, really amazing. And now I've lived on my own for several years. It's something, it's a cool experience. And although I've never done it with a girlfriend, so that probably has its own unique.
Yeah, little differences like having to, I don't know, just there's positives, right? With like having somebody, I think I don't know, but do you feel lonely?
Well, you can see, this is the thing, though. I'm a unique situation in that, like, I am able to, like, Like, I can get on games and get on stuff and, like, just completely lose myself. And I like it that way. Like, I perfectly, but other people I feel like probably would. I know, I don't know. I'm not sure if this is like a dichotomy between like women and men, but there are women that I've talked to that I worked with that were like living on their own and they were very unhappy with the situation. Now, I don't know for whatever reason. But after they found someone to live with or a partner in a relationship, they became a lot happier. Whereas me, I'm just like, wake up every day. It's kind of nice actually living on your own because, you know, I work at my own pace. I'm also a very unorganized person. So it really, it's an up and down, but you know, I wouldn't mind living with another person. Like,
yeah,
I think that has the benefits probably outweigh any negatives there would be.
I don't think I would have liked moving out of my parents, living alone immediately.
Yeah, that would be, even I didn't do that immediately.
I think that would have been, I think I would have felt too lonely if I had done something like that. And the stress is just like, I don't know, everything relying on you would be a little hard when you just
moving out.
Yeah,
when you just got out of that would be a little bit of a tricky situation. So it is nice to have that other person, but yeah, I mean, I think it depends on the person, on the individual, and
yeah, I'm pretty happy with how living with somebody, it's fun.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And my cat.
And your cat, and how organized. That's the organization skills.
Yeah.
I've been to his apartment. It's tier one organization.
It's definitely, I wouldn't have been organized like that much. It's nice to have somebody that's like the opposite on that end of you.
Being able to.
And another benefit is just like she likes to work out a lot, and I want to work out, but I don't have the self motivation to work out. So whenever she wants to work out, she like asks me to do it with her, even if it's at home. And I'm like, I never really want to, but it's like I know I should. Like, first of all, just to do it with her to make her happy, but also for myself that it's like I know I have to do this because I want to do it, but I don't want to do it. So it's nice to have somebody kind of there to like do it, tell me to do it, to keep me on.
Yeah. Always have like that extra motivator, that extra person to make yourself.
And that helps me because I like when I was doing self workouts, even with like an ab workout, a 5-minute ab workout, I would like take more breaks than necessary because I'm like, I can't do this. It's too hard. My abs burn. I'll take a break now and then I'll do a little bit harder in the next set or whatever, right? But having her there, it kind of makes me like, I want to give up, but then I'm like with her and I'm like, maybe don't. Maybe she's still doing it and I can't look like I'm so weak.
Sort of like brings yourself up to like competition, really.
Because I'm so competitive.
Competition. Hey, it drives. Competition drives.
And in this case, I think it's fine because it helps me try harder in workouts.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Well,
so that was a big change for me in life.
I'm trying to think, like, in 2020 specifically, if I had any. I mean, I don't really. 2019, I got a new car. 2019, I moved into my own place by myself. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not really. I'm trying to think, like, again, my lifestyle just didn't really change in 2019. Like, I just kind of kept on, or 2020, just kept on going through, I guess, obviously, the pandemic, my job basically. Well, my specific department closing down a lot, so I had to go help other departments in my job. So that was interesting.
Well, another one that I had for both of us was the podcast.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Starting the podcast. I've always wanted to do a podcast, but I never quite. At first, I was thinking of doing this podcast by myself, and then I decided I was like, maybe it might be easier with somebody else that shares the same interest as me.
Yeah.
And I was happy that you were willing to do it.
Able to bounce ideas off of. It's just easier to do when you got two people, because I've done, like, even doing YouTube videos by yourself, it's always a little bit harder because you have to come up with like every single thing. You can't bounce off conversations, and you look at any podcast out there, all the ones I've watched, it's always better with two people going back and forth sharing ideas rather than
unless
just
you're
one
like
person.
a genius like Bill Burr that can do a solo podcast.
But
that's like a top level entertainer.
You're a top level stand up comedian that can think of funny stuff. And even he, does his mail-ins where he reads the mail-ins and then gives his opinion. It's not like he can just keep. I mean, he can, but even he has help with like the doing that. So the podcast was good. I like it. I like talking. I mean, I like talking about anime. Any chance I can talk about anime, I'll take it. Or any geek related things. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's nice to have this, and we're still working on ways to improve it. I know we're looking at mic stands to make everything easier, pop filters, and then just getting the little set. Maybe I don't know, maybe I don't know what episode maybe we can introduce everything.
Yeah, I mean a few episodes at least away. I mean I gotta organize everything, and we gotta just decide how we want everything to look. But it's in the works. Don't worry.
Yeah,
we're on the way. We're looking to improve.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think this podcast has been fun. We've done decently okay with views and stuff, and we're hoping to keep on going.
Yep, just keep on tracking this. Just stick to it, because that was we've tried things similar to this in the past, and it's always just kind of fizzled out. So we should just stick to this one and just keep on.
Yeah, and so far, I mean, we haven't been so good on scheduling, but at least we still come up with episodes pretty often enough, and we're starting to invest actual money into some other stuff here. So
yeah.
We're actually trying.
Yeah, we are. Where this is actually going. We're looking at a better cameras coming. So it's all forming. It's all in the works.
Yeah, at least we're in this for the long haul. It feels like.
Yeah.
The third thing that I had, because I don't know if you had anything else.
That was it.
Was game making. So on 2020, I've been working on this board game, and maybe we'll have a board game episode where we can talk about both of our games that we were making. Yeah. But I've been working on this game for like 2 years now. And in 2020 is when I decided to like fully invest into it, because I've been like kind of doing it over the past 2 years, but this year I was like, I have time, let's fully put myself into it, and I got it done. I got a lot of done, enough to put it on Kickstarter. Unfortunately, it didn't make its goal. But here 2021, I am hoping to return it. I'm looking at what I can do to advertise more and then have more eyes on it. I'm looking at all that pricing and manufacturing and all that kind of stuff. So I'm looking at everything over again, and I'm just tweaking the game a little here and there to see if it can be more fun. And 2021, I'm hoping to retry the Kickstarter again. I'm not totally sure when, probably summer or something like that. But yeah, that's kind of something that I've been doing that I did over 2020.
Yeah, and I would check out the Kickstarter. Like I said, if any advertisement helps, it's a good game. And the more, and we can come up with more games. So more investment in this when we get more ideas and so on and so forth. But I've been working on a little thing myself too. Not nearly as far in development as Guillermo's game, but mine is a card game. It's going to be called The Secrets of Solara. It's basically sort of like a mix. I guess the best way to put it is like it takes elements from a lot of major card games, and sort of I tried to include them in the game itself, but because you don't just want to straight copy off of those, but you want to introduce your own elements and take elements that were good from those games and put them in, and then improve on elements that were maybe lacking when you play those games. So I'm right now still in the design stage. Obviously, a card game, you have a lot of cards to make before you can release a set. So I mean, I'm working on it. I've got the card types I want. I've got the sort of I've got the lore behind the cards. I've got the sort of design of how I want the cards to look. I just have to put it all together and create the the effects and the like the rules and the things by which the cards will be summoned, yada yada yada. So I mean, it's been fun. I never thought like I would ever be able to even, it never even crossed my mind that I would even invest any time in making a card game. I thought I would just, play the ones that I like and it would just go. But then I saw Guillermo making his board game and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yes.
I was like, maybe I'll, try giving a card game, take a shot at making my own card game. So it's in the works. I don't know. I can't give a definite date. I'm not even sure. Maybe the end of 2020, winter of 2021, maybe I'll have something more tangible, but for now, it's in the. Think you'll even have
a prototype to try out by end of 21? Yeah,
that would be the idea. I think I'm gonna have the first deck. We'll say I'm not sure how many cards it's gonna be. Maybe 50 cards. Maybe it could be even 100 cards. I don't know exactly what size limit I want to have, and then I'll just I'll have. Well, I guess the ideal would be to have two separate decks so they could play each other, so they could see like how it goes into person-to-person combat. What mechanics work, what mechanics don't, if like I have the, if I don't want anything to be too broken, where it gets to be the point in, Yu-Gi-Oh, for example, like there were some mechanics in that game that really just, there was some broken stuff going on in that game. So I'm really trying not to, power creep my way into there. I want to make sure that everything is, fair and as balanced as can be. So it creates because a long, interesting card game. Because I don't like, again, going back to the Yu-Gi-Oh example, where, you can get, OTKs or one-turn kills where it's like, oh, I'll just spend 10 minutes setting up my board. Oh, you lose. It's like, I don't want to be able to do that because it's not fun. I mean, it's literally just wombo combos.
That was the annoying part of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like you'd have to wait 10 minutes for the opponent's turn to end.
And by the time it ended, there's nothing you could do.
Yeah.
It's like they had a whole board set up of cards that couldn't be destroyed, couldn't be targeted, had 4,000 attack. Like
it's no fun.
It didn't make it any fun. So I want to make it fun. I want to have combos, but I don't want to have wombo combos. I don't want to be able to like, oh, this card, oh, summon all. I want to have like, okay, you have to be smart. You have to be like, okay, I'll explain, like I said, when we do an episode about board games, I'll explain more in depth what the card game would be. But yeah, the gist of it is sort of like I want to take the elements from the card games I already like and then add in my own and just make something new out of it. But yeah, cool. So that was, with the pandemic, had a lot of time to do that. So it was fun.
Oh, and Adam said his name in the game, so I'll say my name, Manipulated Pets, and I'll have a link in the description of this video just for more info on that. Also, we never mentioned it, but if you're watching this on YouTube, we also have an iTunes a podcast, audio podcast on any website. I'll put a website on the description that'll take you to basically our podcast website, and then that has links to like iTunes, Google, Spotify, and basically anywhere else that you could watch this or listen to this if you guys only want to listen to the audio. And if you're listening to the audio, you can check out the video version at youtube.com. I think you can just look up Twister GA.
Should be on there.
It's all one word, and it'll be the first channel, which is my name, Guillermo, and it has my face on it. And go to that, and then you'll see the Nerdthings podcast as most recent videos. I don't know, we've never mentioned the fact. Yeah, that's weird.
That we would put that. Huh.
Maybe I'll do this at the start of the next video too, just so people have an idea that we have both a video and an audio only version.
They're just
we just started, and I always forget to mention that. So that was kind of the things we've had for life. Not too much, but it's some fun stuff.
Yeah.
Next, we're gonna get into the nerdy stuff, and I guess we go with games. Should we go with games first?
Yeah.
I played, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 games that I like wanted to talk about in this. I played like tons of games besides that, but the main ones are in start of February, I played this game, My Time at Portia, which is kind of, do you know Stardew Valley?
Yes, I know Stardew Valley.
Yeah, so it's kind of like Stardew Valley except third person. If you don't know what Stardew Valley, it's basically like a farming game kind of thingy, a city builder. And you play as this developer who has to build this farm and help people out and expand the city and whatever. So that was a lot of fun, and I put like 80 hours within like the first month of the game. Like I'd come from work, play for 8 hours, and then go to sleep. And then that was my day when I was playing My Time at Portia. And the game's a little wonky. It's super grindy, even though it's a one-player game. But it was a lot of fun. So I like that one.
That's good.
What did you play?
So I didn't play any. I guess I'll go with like the new game that I played, because I played a lot of the games that have already been out and played a lot. But I'll say I played some of Death Stranding. That was Kojima's new, pet project. And from what I was, I honestly, who knows what I was expecting, because you watch those trailers and like, what you don't know what is this game? Like nobody had any idea. But it was really cool, and I liked that he broke off from Konami, and I wanted to give it a chance. And I played it, and I played through the beginning levels, and I was like, the story, the graphics, the acting, the was all spectacular. The problem is that its one flaw was the gameplay, because the gameplay was literally, at least in the beginning levels, just going back and forth delivering, and you have to keep the balance system, and it's like I felt like just a glorified pizza delivery guy, and you're just like I'll say this, it would have been better if they just made it like an animated movie. Like I would have liked it, enjoyed it much more, because again, the story was still good. Like, and people say in the later levels it got more, actiony, but I can't, like, gameplay is not always as high for me as, things like story and, RPG elements and everything like that. But like when like literally the entire thing is just going back and forth, and it's like you can't. It
gets boring.
Yeah, I can't. I couldn't get into it. So I really, a lot of hype. As somebody online, I read a comment that said you're either gonna love this game or you're not gonna like this game.
Yeah, and I didn't think I was gonna like it, which is why I didn't get it. But I was interested in the story, so maybe I'd watch it.
Yeah, like I said, it would be much better as an animated movie, right? Because the idea was really cool, but
because right now, like when I was younger, I would play any game for a long time, just because you didn't get that many games, so you'd play. But now I'm like at the point where like I have hundreds of games. I'm like, don't like it, drop it next.
Yeah, well, it's like you look at your Steam library. I still have games in my Steam library that I haven't even installed and played yet.
Yeah, so we're at the point where we can just drop a game if you don't have fun.
It's like you get to an age where it's like you have work, you have other responsibilities.
Time's more important.
You can't just sit there like, again, I Could I have just, kept going back and forth and eventually got to the more interesting part of the story? Yes, but at the same time, it's like, no, I don't have the time. I only have so many days off a week.
Yeah.
I want to spend it doing things I want to do. So that was one of the games I played. So the newer ones that came out this year.
Yeah, a lot of my games are older. Like Kingdom Come Deliverance was like a medieval RPG. It was super cool. There was like so many stats that you could upgrade, like just riding a horse upgraded your horse keeping, and then it had perks inside of that once you level up your horse for like everything, for like riding, archery, walking, running, whatever. Like everything had that point system. It was overwhelming at the start, but then you got really into it. And I actually quit the game like a year before because the combat was like it was like For Honor, and that you have to like, or like even that game that even was playing. Mordhau, yeah, where you have to like aim it, and I could not get used to it at all.
Yeah.
And I had a really tough time, and I felt like it was super unfair. Then Avian told me he finished it, and I was like, he finished it, I gotta finish it. I'm a pro gamer.
Yeah.
So I went back to it, and I played it again. I had so much fun, and I just couldn't stop playing with the game. So I don't know, that was a memorable game that I can't wait for the sequel for Kingdom Come, because it didn't finish. It's based on like, I don't even remember what European country. The Cuman were the invaders. I don't remember Cuman. In like 1600 Europe or whatever.
I'm just curious. How do you spell that?
Cuman. I don't remember what. Skalgard, I think, was the name of this.
Human invasion of Bohemia?
Yeah. Bohemia.
Bohemia?
Yeah.
The Hungarian War. Bohemian Hungary, so I would assume Hungary?
Something like
From
that.
Western Romanian plain into the Byzantine Balkans. Yeah, well, anyway.
It was so fun to be like a knight and that stuff. It really felt like, I think it was the best feeling like medieval game. Like I don't have a game that makes me feel like I'm in the medieval times as much as this game did. And if you look at like how the world looks like almost exactly like the actual country that it's based on back in time. So some of the pictures that you see of the actual church or the city or whatever look almost identical, even the paths that you take there. That's cool. Why it felt so real. So it was really good, and I don't know, you like RPGs, I totally recommend it for you. Even dialogues, all that are super important. It's a lot of fun.
I'll have to check it out.
It's hard as hell, but it's totally worth it.
All right, I'll take a look at it. Definitely. Let's see what else I played. I've always been a big fan of like the Alien versus Predator games. I know a lot of people have like zero interest in those games and do not care. My dad was a huge sci-fi nerd, so he showed me all those movies when I was like 8, and so I got really into them. So I played this game called Alien versus Predator Extinction. It's like a RTS type game where you play as like obviously the aliens, the predators, or the humans, and you have to. It's 3 campaigns, which I honestly wish games did more of. Like I feel like games, back in the early 2000s, like we're fine with having like at least multiple campaigns for like different like factions. Maybe it was just that game. I feel like there was more, but I really like that style. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I played through that. It was really fun. I got to have all it like other. It was cool because like the way you could upgrade units and stuff. Like you could get like pred aliens and like give them like harder armor, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I played that one a lot. Spent a good several hours playing that game. Yeah, I'm also a fan of RTSs, so I mean,
check the camera.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, just gotta make sure it doesn't.
We've been having problems with the videos that stops recording halfway through.
Yeah, so yeah, that would be another one I played a lot. Not too much to say on that, just really fun. If you like RTSs and you like Alien versus Predator, it's a little old. It's like 2004, I think. So it's
16 years.
Yeah, it's a little late. It's a little dated. It's for the PS2, but it's still fun game.
There's a lot of good PS2 games that are still like Duelist of the Rose. It's probably one of my favorite games of all time. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh game.
I think I played that one a little bit too on during the quarantine. I don't know if I finished because I know we beat it that one time when we
beat Duelist of the Rose in one city.
Yeah,
which when we were younger it would take like 3 months or something with cheats.
We had to use cheats with the mirror wall cheat, but yeah, now coming back to it when you're older is just.
It's so
although
easy.
I beat I think who was it Weevil, where I just kept ending my turn and
no, it was I
just kept ending my turn and she never, because I had more
99
turns.
Yeah,
99 turns and I was able to
3 points.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Yep, I was able to do it.
Okay, so when you were talking about multiple like storylines, I played Devil May Cry series, like the entire series, which was so good because I played Devil May Cry 1 and 2 back in like 2008 maybe. Because I remember I had the PlayStation Network magazine, and they had a picture of like Devil May Cry 4, and they're like, it looks so realistic and it's so good. And that always stuck in my mind because I was like, I want a PS3. It was a PS3, and I didn't have a PS3. It was like, that was back when it was like $1,000. I was like, I'm never gonna play this game because I'm never gonna have money to buy it. And then I recently thought about the game again because I played 1 and 2. I thought they were fun, but I didn't have enough money to play the third one. And then I moved on from that to other consoles, and then it just never went back to it. And then recently I was like, I watched a YouTuber do like a 4-hour video on just Devil May Cry, and like he talks about the intricacies of the game and all the tiny little details. I'm like, I kind of want to play this game again. So I bought the special edition on the PC, played Devil May Cry 1, 2, 3. Had so much fun. I was like, I gotta get Devil May Cry 4. So I bought 4 finally, and that was so fun. And then Devil May Cry 5 came out, I think last year maybe. And I was gonna try to hold off for a little bit because I was like, I want to wait. So I don't have to wait 10 years for Devil May Cry 6. But then I was like, fuck it. I had so much fun. I have to buy Devil May Cry 5. And I did, and I played all of those. So they were a lot of fun. Devil May Cry the first one is just Dante, the main character. Second one, you have, like you said, dual campaign, which is the weakest one of the games. It's not terrible, but it's not the best. In that one, you can play as Dante or a new female character that you can play as. And then Devil May Cry 3, you can play as Dante, or you can once you beat the game, you can redo the mission as another character named, I think it was, I forgot her name. Girl? I don't remember her name well. And she's a shooter, so it's a completely different playstyle than Dante because he's sword. And then you can play as his brother, Virgil, which he has like time traveling kind of mechanics. It's so cool. He's so badass. And then Devil May Cry 4, which is on the PS3, which like the graphics from 2 to PS3 are like astronomical. Yeah. And that one you can also play as Virgil. You can play as Dante. You can play as a girl from the first game and the girl from the third game. You can play all those, and you play as one of the new characters that's released. So that's 4 characters, and each of them have their own like play style, combo system, all that kind of stuff. So there's so much to play. And then 5 adds to that even more because in 5 you intertwine Dante, this new character named V, and then the new character from Devil May Cry 4. And as you play the story, you change from character to character, and you learn how they're completely different. Like the coolest character, the new character that they added, V, he uses monsters to attack. So instead of you being the one to attack, square summons like a panther, triangle summons a bird, and then circle might be your insta kill. So your monsters that you summon can't kill monsters. You have to kill them with circle. You have to get near enough to finish them off. So that's a cool mechanic, just to like summon things, launch them at enemies, fight with them, and then go in for the kill at the end. And then the new DLC for that just came out, Devil May Cry, where you can play as Virgil for the whole game. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to get that. I'm kind of disappointed that they upgraded like the entire graphic systems, but only for the PS5 and Xbox, not for the PC, which is super fucking annoying because I got it on the PC, and that's obviously like the best system to run him. Like, even though the new consoles are strong, I don't know if they'll be hitting 60 the whole game through like my PC could easily.
Oh, yeah. Well, PC is just always it's funny because it's like, speaking of Cyberpunk, it's like the exact opposite. They totally crapped the bed of the PS4 and Xbox One. Made it great for the PC, apparently. So that's another game. I probably not going to... I don't know if I'm going to get it this year. I want to wait until CD Projekt Red fixes it. But there's a game I want to get, so I'll just wait till they work out all the bugs.
Yeah, I like, from what I've seen, like at least people that like the PC, it seems to be a good game. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, they said the story's really good.
It's just that the consoles have like overshadowed it just because of how bad they were.
Yeah, and I mean it was kind of a scummy thing for them to do, to be like, oh, they only let the testers like, oh, you can only release certain footage, and you can't release any. I don't even know if they sent copies out to consoles.
Really?
Yeah, I think they just did it for PC, and they told the reviewers that you can only release certain footage. It's like they really were trying to hide the fact that it was. At the same time, it's like the amount of hype that existed for that game was just through the roof.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be the game, the game of the century. Not Black Ops, no. But this was gonna be like the game to play, and then hit failing so much. So again, is a game I want to play. Is a game I was going to get for 2020. I would have been talking about it, but it's after seeing the reviews, it's like, I'll wait till they...
Yeah, wait a little bit.
Till they fix it up. But that is cool that the Devil May Cry does that multiple campaigns. I wish more games did that. I like playing it from different perspectives.
Yeah, and I know that some of the cutscenes are different depending on what character you play. Sometimes you just play the same mission over, but as the new character. But it's still really cool. I totally recommend anybody that likes just cool, and then and it's so stylish. The whole game like is based off a style system. They have to kill things in the coolest way possible.
I actually did watch that video on that about how I don't remember who I was looking at, but it was something a video like cool like game combat like nuances and mechanics and stuff in bed. Like Devil May Cry was number 2. It was like a top 10, and like number 2 was this killing people in style points and like the way you can do it. Like there's some people get some really crazy stuff going on.
It's so fun.
So
and it's so hard. Devil May Cry is so hard.
Yeah.
Which is nice to play. It's hard. It's fun to play like those PS2 games that were like hard, just for no reason.
Right.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
The other game that I played was Danganronpa. I finally beat the Danganronpa. I watched the anime too. Everything. I did everything Danganronpa this year. I have Danganronpa. So I played 1 and 2 since that's like a contained story. And from what I think, Danganronpa 3 is like its own story. So I haven't played that yet because I don't want to get burnt down on the series too quickly.
Yeah.
But I did hear that the voice actor of Monokuma.
Yeah.
I think they died. So the third one has like a different voice actor.
That sucks.
But it'll be hard because Monokuma's voice is so like it's so
so
good.
Iconic.
Yeah, I love Monokuma's voice, so it'll be weird to have that. But I played a lot of Danganronpa. So many hours spent on crime investigation, murder stuff. It's a lot of fun. I recommend everybody to play Danganronpa.
Yeah, I gotta get on that. I have the Danganronpa. At least I have 1 and 2, but I haven't played them yet.
They're really good. They take a while, but there's so many twists and turns, and everything finally gets explained, which is nice because the first one we saw the anime first, and I thought the anime was good. It was fine.
Yeah, I liked it.
I haven't rewatched the anime after I played the games, but we saw it before we played the games. I thought it was good, like an introduction to the game.
Yeah, its own fun.
Yeah, it got me into the game, which I think was the point of the anime, so it did its job.
Yeah. Yep. Man, no, it was. You're wrong. Honey. Yeah, so that little courtroom.
And the murder stuff was crazy. Like the murder scenes later on.
Those are good. That's a good game. I have to go play those. Or a good show. I have to go play the games. But let's see, what else did I play? I played, as I do my yearly, I replayed the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic series and the Dragon Age series. Like, those are always my...
Oh, did your Mass Effect's getting a...
Yes, remaster. They're remastering all 3 games, and they're making a new Mass Effect game and a new Dragon Age. So,
BioWare's like, I don't really care about their new games at this point anymore.
No, the old BioWare is gone. The writers and the people who made my favorite games are long gone. So the new BioWare is like, I don't.
All I care about is those remasters.
Yeah, the remaster is going to be, especially for Mass Effect 1, that game remaster is going to be awesome. So I'm definitely going to be getting that, even though I've played each of them like 10 times. I'm definitely going to be getting it again. And yeah, like I said, I played Knights of the Old Republic. Great, in my opinion, top 3 RPGs of all time. Like, I understand, like, obviously the combat's dated and it's kind of so that might turn you off, but if you're looking in terms of just like pure story, characters, dialogue, like, it is just tier 1, like awesome. And then of course Dragon Age, same kind of thing, really good characters. Combat, again, it's one of those, BioWare isn't really known for its amazing combat games, except for like Mass Effect 2 and 3 were pretty good. But yeah, so I was playing those. I love them. Great stories, great. I think I'm playing through Inquisition again right now because I never beat Inquisition fully. I got through most of it. The side questing just burnt me out because there's about in the hinterlands. There's like a gajillion side quests to do. So yeah, I burnt out. So I'm playing it now. In a pandemic, I was like, whatever. I'll get through it. So I'm replaying that now, and I've been having a blast in those games. It's always fun doing ridiculous dialogues and just some of the stuff. I remember in Mass Effect 2, where you go to what's the planet called? Not Harvest, where you go to the planet, not the first mission, but the mission where you go to the colony that's getting abducted by the collectors, where you meet Ashley again.
Yeah, the human.
Yeah, the human, where you meet Ashley and she's like being a total cunt to you, and you're just like, well, I'll see you around, Shepard. And one of the dialogue guidance is Fat Chance. And it's just like, I just love the some of the dialogue they put in those games. Like, it's just brilliant. Like, it's just fun. So funny. It's really truly an RPG element. But yeah, so I've been playing those games. It's been a blast. Again, I could spend an entire video talking about how great these games are, so I'll cut it a little bit short.
Another one that we played was Halo.
Yes, yeah.
We played the Master Chief Collection together. We played Halo 1 on Legendary. It took for fucking ever.
Yep.
Every mission was like 40 minutes long.
Yep, and it was a lot of very repetitive. But back then, obviously,
it was a lot of fun, though.
It was hard.
It was hard.
It was hard, yeah, dude. That flood level, swarms and swarms of flood, because you had actually never played the Halo campaigns
No, I've never
before.
played. No, I've only played Halo 3, so it was nice to go back. Then we got Halo 2, which we haven't beaten.
Nope.
But that one's really hard.
Those jackal snipers, man. I mean, everyone already knows, but those motherfuckers are just
having no health sucks. Dick.
It does.
Or no shields. I don't know what you don't have, but you don't have something.
Yeah, you don't have the Halo 1 health where it's like you go through the shields and it's just this is in Halo 2 they introduced strictly the shield, so it's just like pop.
Does Halo 3 have a shield?
No, it's just shields.
It's a shield, but I feel like Halo 3 was a lot longer.
Yeah, you are. Maybe it's just because Halo 2 Legendary is so stupid, but it felt like in Halo 3 that your shields were stronger and they took more damage because. Halo 2 Legendary, it's like it's gone in 2 seconds and you're pop, and you're dead.
Yeah, I feel like the sound's even quieter. You don't even realize you're almost dead until you're dead. Yeah, that fucking sucks.
So yeah, Halo's been a blast. Always fun to play those again. Even I never played all of them on Legendary. I've only played 3 on Legendary. So playing 1 and 2 on Legendary was there was one mission.
We'll beat Legendary.
Yeah, in Halo, I think it was Halo 2, where they were in the hangar and they were setting off the
mission.
bombs. And we just took 25 tries.
They sent fucking 10 elites.
Yep, that are unkillable.
And we had 10 bullets between the both of us to kill 10 elites.
Yeah, you just had to use grenades, and it's like even if you stuck one of them, they wouldn't die. It's just like a plasma grenade to the face. Yeah.
And then we got past that part, and then the right part after that is just another elite fest with.
Yep, more elites, and then you get out into. More elites, and then you get to the down to earth, and there's jackal snipers everywhere. So we're it's always fun.
It's been fun though. We're halfway there.
Yeah, we're halfway through the campaign. We're just on the level. I think we just killed the Prophet of Regret. I want to say, or we're right before. We're right about to. We either did, because we just landed. We just landed on the new Halo ring because we went down, and then we just went through. We're looking for the key or the key to the index or whatever it's called to get into the Halo room.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're just about to kill the Prophet of Regret. Yeah, I think we're just about there. So
okay, cool.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
So we've been doing a lot of Halo, which has been fun.
So that's been a good one.
I have one more game. Do you have any games?
Let's see. Did the Alien vs Predator, Rose to Duelist, Dragon Age, Death Stranding. I think that was pretty much it for me. I did a lot more. I watched a lot of TV shows more than I did gaming this pandemic. But yeah, what's your
the last one was just VR as a whole. I've been doing a lot of that recently. You've got to play this game. It's called Until You Fall, which is kind of you play as this knight who is in this. I think you're awakened or whatever, and the land basically got corrupted. As it always does, by this evil beast, and all the knights that have died in there have become corrupted and are facing you. And this voiceover is telling you that she's waking you up to try to defeat them and defeat the beast that corrupted the land. And it's kind of like a roguelike that you have to get through. You'll probably die, start over, but at least you have new XP that you can use to upgrade weapons and whatever. And every weapon's unique. It's VR, so obviously you have slashing and all that stuff. And one of the cool mechanics is that when let's say a knight is slashing at you, you have to block in the exact same direction that they're attacking. So let's say they're gonna slash you like this, right? I guess if you're hearing audio, it's like an overhand, and you have to block horizontally. So it'll be on the screen. It'll show you a little line that you have to put your sword through, and that's how you block. So sometimes they'll send you 4 attacks, and so you block this, like that, and it feels really cool to It feels like you're blocking somebody's a knight's cool attacks that you see in anime all the time. And you're doing that exactly in real life, and that feels amazing. And at some point, some attacks can only be they can't be blocked; they have to be physically dodged, so you have to duck out of the way. So sometimes, one guy, because it's this ginormous fucking knight with a huge shield that's basically the size of you, and he tries to do that, so you duck, and then when you duck, you upper hand cut him, and that feels amazing. The game basically just feels amazing to play, just because I don't know, I've never felt more inside a knight or in the world than that game, and it's been a lot of fun. Sometimes I'm just I almost get out of the play area because I'm so into it. I'm just fighting all around, and that's a lot of fun. And you get tons of different weapons to upgrade, and every time you defeat a little section, you get to this part where you get 3 different upgrades. So in the game, you're still upgrading 2 per level and all that stuff, all to get to the end. And I haven't beaten the game because obviously it's really, really hard. You have to beat the whole game in one life.
Really? You got to go all the way through?
Yeah, you have to go all the way, which is hard.
Those are always fun.
But you got to try it. I'll let you try it whenever we have a chance. But definitely easily the best game I played in VR right now. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, VR is definitely the big benefit of VR is the immersion, is the fact that you feel like you are part of, like when I was playing Half-Life Alyx with Avion's VR, like holy crap, like that's I mean even just there's just the immersion. The immersion is just so crazy. Like you put it on, you're like, oh my god, this is freaking real.
And it's all just a fucking camera in front of your eye or a screen in front of your eye.
But the fact that it's so
tracking.
close to your eye that you can't see anything else is just so.
How did you feel with the boxing game? Because I know we talked about how Adam played I forgot the Way of the Fighter, I think it's called or something. And it's just a VR boxing game, and it's killer.
Yeah, boy, you wouldn't think like I never realized how out of shape I was until I played that game and just punched for 20, 25 minutes. Like I probably was sore for about a week after that. And it's just like, I was like, oh, maybe I'll wake up and work out tomorrow. Nope. I was like my shoulders, my triceps, my back muscles, like my lats, they were all just from the action of punching, like not punching anyone, not having any weights on it, just punching the air simply wore me out. So that game is definitely a work. I was sweating by the end of that. I'm like, oh,
that game's exhausting.
It really is
so fun, and it's easy to get. At first, you feel like self-conscious about punching in front of people, but then after a while, you get into it, and you're like, no,
I just wanted to beat the guy. I want to knock this dude out. Yeah,
it's so fun. It's a great time.
It is.
It's a great exercise too.
Oh,
I think it's great for cardio.
If you're a person that has like a hard time like staying in the mode of like exercising, like or need cardio, like just do that because you'll just forget you're even doing cardio. You'll just end up beating the guy.
And sometimes you'll push yourself a little too much, like I have.
Yeah, and me. Yeah,
like running is boring. I don't like running as much, but if I could do cardio just through boxing like that.
Yeah.
And I tried this other boxing game called Creed, based off the Rocky series.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that one as much because it was more cartoony, but also you had stamina meter. And I was like, well, I want to have my own, like, my real human stamina.
Yeah.
I didn't like being, like, having a stamina meter.
Yeah, that's especially in a game like VR. The whole point is to just have your own stamina.
Yeah.
Because it's you playing, like, literally you're physically. So, yep. Definitely, if you have like if you like boxing or you just like, I mean, it's a cool game even without that. But if you ever feel like you have trouble doing cardio, running doesn't work for you, treadmills, all that, I would do it. Like,
yeah, for sure, it's good.
I would definitely take that as an option.
So now we're up until anime. You want to start off? Do you have any anime?
Well, I watched Kubo's new little pet project, Burn the Witch. Looks really cool. I like the story. Although the only thing I'm not too sure about is he's connected it to the Bleach universe, and it takes place 2 years after the end of Bleach. And so in Bleach, there's like you've got the Soul Society, but now you've also got the Western branch of the Soul Society, which is apparently like where Burn the Witch is. It's like reverse London, and they hunt dragons and yada yada. Yeah, it's like its own weird thing, and it's like I think about that, and you wonder, like, because there are a lot of things that happen in Bleach where it's like the Western branch of the Soul Society could have been like, hey, you could have helped out, but for some reason they didn't. So it makes me think of like he thought of all of this after he finished Bleach, and then he's like, well, if I can just shoehorn this in, and it's like it's his.
It'll sell more because it's in the same universe.
It's his story, so he can do what he wants. But it's like kind of like takes away from Bleach a little bit because now every time I watch it, it's like, well, now that I know there's a Western branch, like, what was the Western branch doing when the Soul Society was in peril? Like, because if you haven't watched Bleach, go watch it. Spoilers, if you care. I would go watch Bleach. But anyway, so spoilers. In Bleach, there is the Soul Society, then there's Squad Zero, and then there's the Soul Palace that contains the Soul King. The Soul King is what maintains balance between the multiple worlds, between the Soul Society, Wakamundo, Earth, all, the human world, all of that. So, it seems to be, according to him at least, that was like a lot of like world peril. Like if the Soul King fell in the Soul Palace, like the whole world, human world, all three worlds would just fall apart into nothing. So there's a part where an enemy invaded the Soul Society, almost destroyed it, almost killed the Soul King and all that. And it's like, so you're telling me the Western branch of the Soul Society would be like, hey,
we gotta help.
Yeah. It's like they were nowhere to be found. Yeah, like the whole world. So a lot of people are excited, obviously, over having the two universes connected. But me, I kind of look at that and go, it doesn't really make any sense. Like, apparently, Viz Media messed up the translation. Apparently, Kubo mentioned that the Soul Society in Bleach was just the Eastern branch. But, at the same time, it's like he mentioned it once and then never did it again throughout the whole series. Now, all of a sudden, there's this, Western branch that, has been there hundreds of years, but for some reason didn't help him. So again, Burn the Witch, I really like it. I like the one shot they did. I like the anime. It's going to be serialized, so they're going to do more. But I would have liked it better if they just kept it its own separate show and not connected it to Bleach.
Yeah.
It doesn't, continuity wise, it doesn't.
I'll probably
really make
watch it
much
some,
sense.
but I haven't seen much of Bleach for only the first 90 episodes.
Yeah.
But
No, I mean,
I don't think I have as much connection to Bleach, so I'll see if I enjoy it as a standalone.
I would watch Burn the Witch as its own standalone, but yeah, it doesn't really have anything to do with Bleach. There's only like one or two references to Bleach in the whole thing, so it's really its own thing. But yeah, so that was one of them I watched. What about you? What do you got?
So I got a couple. I started with A Sister Is All You Need, which is interesting because I didn't think I was gonna like it. It's about this guy who basically has a little sister fetish, but he doesn't have a little sister. And at first I don't know if I was gonna like, because I don't like little sister fetishes, but they kind of go a little bit more in depth into his whole thing, and I don't even think he actually has a little sister fetish. But it's a cool take on the whole idea. And also this anime, I liked it a lot, and I thought about it a lot just because it has a lot of, I've mentioned to you, it's board games. The characters play a lot of board games in the show, because I think, if I remember correctly, they were all writers, wrote books, manga, or whatever. And they just played a lot of board games all the time, and those board games existed, and I actually ended up buying one of the board games from that game that they played in the game, and we played it in real life, and it was a lot of fun.
That was fun. Make your own stories.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get some water.
Yeah, I'll grab you some water real quick.
My throat is, I'm not used to talking this much for this long. I'm the kind of person that talks like 5 minutes a day in real life, and now my throat is giving out.
It is funny,
all this talking. So that was one of the animes I watched. A Sister Is All You Need. So I totally recommend that. At first, you don't want to watch it because you're like, perverted little brother, little sister type of thing. But nah, it ends up being a little bit more than that. And just don't expect an ending because anime in history has an ending.
They never do end. Yeah. Let's see. What was I? Trying to think what else I watched.
Also, I think our video ran out of memory just mentioning that. So sorry if there's no video right now.
There might be no video at the moment. Let's see. We were talking about the ones we watched. I'm trying to think of what else no, I already talked about that one. The second season of Love is War, Kaguya-sama. Mm-hmm. I love that. That was probably one of my favorite slices of life of all the anime I've seen.
I still gotta watch it.
Oh my god, dude! The
first season was so funny.
Yeah, the last episode of the second season is just tier one. I
almost died in the first season's French scene.
Oh, that was where she's sitting there swearing at him in French, and he's just like, oh, and she's like, how is he taking all of this? I'm insulting him just because he has no idea what she's actually saying.
Yeah, it's so funny.
No, the second season definitely improves upon it. It is just so brilliant. Like, that's the other one I watched. Again, it's just really fun. I don't want to spoil anything. Go watch it. The characters are great. If you like slice of life, I would definitely go with it.
So early in February, I think I got really sick for a while. Around the time you got sick too. What a coincidence. And I was just in bed and I started watching JoJo, which I watched the first 3 seasons of JoJo, and I got to the third season because first season has 2 parts, and in the first season they all fight with their fists, which I thought was really cool. Third season they introduced stands, which are like basically your spiritual manifestation of you, and it has superpowers and all that kind of stuff, and whatever damage the stand takes, you take in real life. And it took me a while to get in. I think also the writer himself was taking a while to just get used to it, write the rules. So it was kind of basic, honestly kind of boring. I actually quit halfway through the third season because I was like, I'm bored. Not enough is happening to keep me entertained. And then I was sick, and I was like, okay, let's go back to JoJo. I don't like not finishing anime. I was interested enough to continue it, but I wasn't. I was like, okay, fine, I'll rewatch it, whatever. And I'll continue watching it, and then I continued watching it, and 3 episodes after I quit, I was like full all in JoJo, and I was like, I love JoJo, and I watched that season. Then I watched season 4 in as short as a time as you could. I basically had no time off between. I was work JoJo, and then I finished that season, and then I got season, I think it's 5 that we're at or whatever, and I finished that season just as quick, and JoJo is amazing.
Yeah,
I think that we should watch that as part of the show.
Yeah,
the podcast.
I would definitely do that.
But yeah, JoJo is like the third season. Like I said, it's easy to quit there because it takes a little while. But after you get over that little hump, it just becomes amazing, and you fall in love with the characters. So I wish I could buy JoJo merch just because I love JoJo so much, but it's all so expensive, and none of it gets released over here. You have to import it from Japan, so I don't know. That's disappointing. I'm gonna find ways to buy JoJo merch just because I love this show, and I love the art style, the characters, the comedy is top notch, the action. See, the rough part about watching JoJo is that the action is so good that like no anime compares to it at that point. Just because every anime action is like power based, so you're just stronger than the other guy and you win.
Yeah.
But JoJo, the other opponent could be stronger. It's just the characters are just smarter, or the techniques they use are just better. Whatever. It rarely comes down to power strength. It almost always comes down to who's smarter or whose techniques are better and all that kind of stuff. And the fact that main characters can just die out of nowhere also adds to your like interest in the show. So I don't know. I love JoJo. I recommend every single person on earth watch it, but I don't think it's for most people because just how crazy the show is. And yeah, I know. I love JoJo.
Yeah, no, I've heard.
And I'm talking about the little girl, not the anime.
Yeah.
JoJo Siwa.
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
you seen that?
Yeah, no, you are not alone in that opinion. I've heard plenty of people really just rave about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's like usually top 5 on most people's lists. So
It's
definitely one I need to check out, and other people should as well. Just remembered, I think I also rewatched Death Note this year.
Oh, you rewatched it?
Yeah, in the beginning, because if you remember,
you
Adrian
never
spoiled
finished
it for me because he told me, he's like, oh yeah, by the way, spoilers, just in case you haven't seen Death Note. I'm pretty sure everyone has, but just in case, yeah. So Light dies, and I didn't know that. I was only on episode like 17. And he's like, oh yeah, by the way, he dies. I was like, what? And I just got so angry. I was just like, I hated being that spoiled, so I quit after that for a while. And so this year I actually went back and rewatched all of it, pandemic and whatever. And I really, the second half of the show definitely isn't as good as the first half. I'm not even going to try to debate that, but a lot of people give it way more flack than they should have. I mean, obviously, yes, I know Nier is like a sort of like a downgraded version of L, but that's what he was supposed to be. And he was L's disciple, like him and what was the other guy's name? I forget the other guy's name, but him and the two guys were going to be the next great detective if L ever passed. And so a lot of people were like, oh, he's just, L 2.0. He should never have beaten Light. And, the way I look at it, I'm like, I actually think that's a pretty good ending because Light, after beating L, he figured himself invincible. He's like, well, I defeated the greatest detective in the world. I no longer have to worry about anything. So he kind of got caught up in his own arrogance, which is a typical of a psychopath, right? They get caught up in their own arrogance and then they end up making a mistake. So I think, but yeah, obviously, Death Note, really good show.
It was really good.
Yeah, the psychological. I really like the
music's probably some of the best.
Some of the thinking music and the low of solipsism, like that was the whole dun 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 dun, like that whole scene with the potato chip and
that we remade.
Yep, we actually did a school art project and we remade that scene. It was pretty funny, but can't believe somebody was actually paid to animate that whole thing and just be, I'm gonna take this potato chip and eat it, and it's just like how they made it seem so epic, yet it's just literally him
simple.
Writing in a notebook and eating potato
Only
chips.
anime can do that though.
Yeah, which is one of the great things about anime is it can. Animation in general, just if you made that scene in real life, it would look ridiculous. Like we did in that video, it was supposed to be a joke. Like it's supposed to be looking ridiculous, and but in anime, it can look so real and proper. But yeah, I even though I got the ending spoiled for me, I still really enjoyed it. Like I said, I didn't mind the fact that Nier was able to beat him. I think it fit Light's character perfectly. He got arrogant. He believed himself better than everyone, and really, kind of in the end, kind of sad. I mean, I didn't feel bad for Light. Because obviously he's a total psychopath,
bad guy.
But it's just like, you see him running in the end after Matsumoto shot him like 8 times, and he's just like running there like,
and he just died.
And he just collapsed, and you see Ryuk up there. Well, I told you your name would be in my Death Note, and he just, writes
it's just
it
like
down.
another day for him.
Yeah, and it was really all because of him, all because he got bored. If he had never dropped the Death Note in the
Yeah, that's all it was to him, right? Just like a little fun side project.
Like, I was bored, all those people's lives.
It's weird.
Yeah, so another one I watched, and obviously really good. I would put that up there.
So I think I'm not 100% sure if we watched this in 2020 or 2019, but I just added it to the list. Mob
Psycho.
I don't know if I watched that in 2020 or
I'm not sure. Maybe I think it was either. It was close. It was close. 2019, 2020.
Mob Psycho was
Oh my
so
god,
good.
Such a good show. Such a good show. Like the openings are really good.
I love the first opening. I think I liked a lot when they were counting down. That opening was awesome. Mob is so interesting, so funny.
Dude, one of my favorite scenes from that show will forever be where his mentor like accidentally takes his powers and just like deflecting all of them, and his friends are like, "Wait a minute, is this guy actually for real? Does he know what he's doing?" And he's just beating everyone. And of course, he has no idea what he's doing. He's a total fake. But I think that was forever one of my favorite scenes.
Mob Psycho is so good. I don't know if it didn't end right properly.
No,
I remember it. There could be a third season. I don't know if there will be, but
I mean, it took how many years to get the second season?
Yeah, no, Mob Psycho was really, really good. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love the action too. The fight between him and the guy who can teleport, like that was one of the best fights. Just like the animation was just beautiful, like hitting him down, like.
No, and I didn't think I was gonna like it because I heard that. I mean, it was just a guy being stronger than everybody.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that can't be that interesting. It's just gonna be boring after a while. But it was so interesting. It was so fun. The combat is insane. The last fight in the second season, the animation is just out of this world.
Yeah.
Everything about it is out of this world.
It's so just nuts. And then I like the fight between him and the guy with the blonde hair where he like cuts all his hair off at first.
Oh, yeah.
He's going, he comes with this ridiculous wig.
Yeah.
No, Mob Psycho, that's another one. I was with you because it was actually somebody at work kept like pestering, like, you gotta watch. I was like, I was reading the synopsis. I was like, kid, super powerful psychic powers, meh. And then
I can get power fantasy from everywhere.
Yeah, and then I started watching. I was like, wow, this is actually pretty funny. Like,
it's so good.
It was actually, and it's funny because it wasn't Mob himself. It was the fact that his mentor was like a total scam. Like that's what actually caught me. I'm like, what is going on here? And then I see throughout the whole show, he just. Yeah, it was.
Mob Psycho, so good.
It is. I would recommend it to anybody.
Yeah, for sure. So I added that one because I didn't know if we had seen that or not. I have two more. There's this one called Oresuki, which was kind of interesting. It's about this guy who let me remember because I kind of forget some of the stuff. There's a couple of animes that I can't remember if I'm mixing them up together, but if I remember correctly, it was this girl falls in love with the main character, who if I remember correctly, I can't remember if I'm mixing these two animes, but I know for sure the girl falls in love with this guy. He has like this fake persona that he's acting like he's a nice guy because he thinks he's like a main character in an anime where you're nice to every girl and then later on you'll get your harem because you're so nice. And that's kind of what he goes by. But she figures out that that's not his actual personality. He's like a normal person, and she falls in love with him, but he doesn't like her at all. But then she turns hot because she's wearing like her ugly clothes because she doesn't want to be seen as hot. But then when she's super hot, she's super hot. And it's just a comedy about that. And then his friends also have like basically their own identities, that secret identities kind of thing where everybody's not who they are, who they say they are. It's just high school kind of thing. And it's a slice of life. But it was just really, really funny. And I think I actually bought into the romance between the main two leads of the show. The love triangle kind of ended up as a love triangle, like all anime do. But I actually bought into it. I was really rooting for the girl, and it was just a lot, really, really funny. So I recommend. The full name is not Oresuki, but I can't remember the whole name.
That's all right. I'm sure people can find it. I mean, if you're into anime enough, you'll figure it out.
No, and I was confusing it with this other anime where this guy also figures out that this girl also has a secret identity, but this one's a perverted anime where she's actually into being treated like a dog.
Wow. Yeah. Well, anime, it's got genres for all people.
No, and that anime is all about like perverts because then he becomes friends with this other girl who likes to be like own guys as property, like that's her fetish. And like basically every character has a fetish.
That's funny.
Gotta love
that.
It's only an anime could you
pull this off.
Yeah.
I mean, if you tried to do this in like a
and of course he's like, no, I don't want this girl. Like what guy would not be? Because the chick's like super hot, busty, big ass, everything. You're like, what guy's gonna say no to a girl that likes to be treated like a dog? But she gives you sex. You're like, I'm not gonna say no.
Anime. Yeah, you tried to do that in real life. Oh, I mean, about as close as you're gonna get to that is like 50 Shades of Grey. That's about as close as you're gonna get.
No guy's gonna say no to that situation.
No, it's
no high school boy.
But it's anime. He has to be noble and he's the young Japanese boy who's noble and not perverted at all and is so much better. But anyway.
The last one I want to point out. So I watched this. These two anime are a lot of like, basically there's one called the Quintessential Quintuplets, and there's another one called We Never Learn Bokuben or something like that. And they have the same plot, which is these girls are failing at school. And in the case of Quintessential, there's 5 girls, and they're each at masters at their own subject, like science, math, whatever.
Yes.
But they suck at every other subject. And the main character is hired by their parents because he's super rich. And the main character is in total debt, and he's hired to tutor them.
Yeah.
And in Quintessential Quintuplets, basically, it becomes a romance because obviously he has 5 girls to choose from.
Yeah.
And at the start of the show, it shows that he's getting married to one of them, but you don't know who. The characters are super interesting. I like them a lot. And this leads to the show I watched in 2020, which was We Never Learned, because it's almost the exact same thing. Guy gets hired to teach these girls. And I was like, well, that's just a ripoff, because they came out around almost the exact same time. If not, Quintessential came out like this season, and then the other one came out the next season. And I was like, this is just a ripoff, kind of like how Log Horizon was. You thought it was a ripoff. We thought it was a ripoff. Everybody thought it was a ripoff of Sword Art. It just ended up being a completely different thing.
Yeah.
And it is kind of a different thing in that the characters are they're better written, and they're more interesting. But I still like the Quintessential because it's funnier. But I don't know. I thought We Never Learn. I think it's getting a 3rd season, which should wrap up the show. So that'll be nice to actually have an ending for a romance.
Because every romance I've ever watched never ends.
Yeah, and I actually have no freak. Like at first, I was like, I like this girl the most, and I still like her the most. But the other girls actually grew on me, and it could go into any of those 3 girls, and I'd be like, this is okay. So I'd be happy with whatever he chooses at this point, because all the characters are so well written, so interesting, and yeah, I really liked it.
Nice.
That covers everything from my 20. That's my 2020 summed up.
Yeah, I think mine's about. I'm trying to think. I don't think there were any other anime. I don't really think. That was 2019. I think most of it was 2019. So yeah, that's about covers my 2020. That's it.
That's it.
That was
We're only an hour in.
Yep, that was 2020 in review.
Yeah,
So.
best year yet.
Yeah, that was so great.
2021 should be a lot of fun. We got a lot of
Assuming
stuff.
the world
planned.
doesn't fall apart, we should be all
I've got a
good.
game coming. We've got an improvement in our podcast. You've got a game working on.
Yep.
We've got a lot of cool stuff
Yeah.
going in 2021, and I don't know what else stuff might come up.
Yeah, if there's anything cool, we'll let you guys know on the podcast. So
Yeah.
anything crazy.
So thanks for watching. If you guys are watching us on any podcasting, give us a rating.
Yeah.
That always helps our subscribers. Just keep listening, whatever. And yeah, I've got nothing else.
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We got more coming in the future, and like you said, keep listening. We got more coming.
Bye. Oh wait, but
The
video-
camera's not on.
Yeah.